Hi everyone. Today we'll briefly talk about our placemaking project titled Reimagine, Recreate, and Reconnect, a project that reimagines a public space shared by and accessible to all, recreates a sense of belonging to engage different visitors, and ultimately reconnects the community, indigenous people, and nature to the place to curate a future with equality and diversity. We'll begin today's presentation with a brief introduction to the site and its pre-existing condition, then look at the social, historical, and ecological aspects to identify the existing issues and its potential solutions. All of these are then translated into the design strategies, attempting to create a space that is usable and shared by all. The presentation will end with a discussion of the evaluation of the project to assess critically as to whether it is successful.
Our site is located in the southeast of Maribyrnong near the Maribyrnong River. The site includes the Melbourne's Living Museum of the West, Pinemakers Park, Pinemakers Playground, and the wetland at the south. Existing features include a north entrance from the highway, a footbridge crossing the river, and large green areas.
Before starting our proposal, we first analyzed the demographic of Maribyrnong, mainly focusing on the age, family composition, correlation between culture and income. Based on the previous demographic analysis, we are trying to figure out what the community want and need. For example, we get the information from the age distribution that there were more young people in this area and more families with children. Therefore, it lays the foundation for the target people we will focus on next. In this section, we summarize the needs of the community through the Facebook platform. Most experience a need for nature, including a connection to the river and a desire for more green areas. Therefore, in this next step, we will refer to these issues to propose more specific strategies. We will mainly focus on three issues to develop our proposal: habitat and biodiversity, cultural representation and perspectives. The last one is inclusion and equity. We hope that each kind of group or party communicates with each other and has been assimilated consequently and creating the multicolor culture.
The land of Maribyrnong was owned by the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung, the Bonaran peoples, and the clans of Kulin Nation for over 40,000 years till 1830s. However, there are only 44 people, which is less than 1% of the population in Maribyrnong nowadays, who are Aboriginals. The Maribyrnong is welcoming different cultures from the world, but the Aboriginal cultures is fading away. We are aiming to bring back the indigenous cultures to the community and engaging the Aboriginals with other cultures to create a united community.
Maribyrnong has a great biodiversity of flora and fauna, with a total of nearly 2,000 native species within the 5-kilometer radius. However, we found that small golden moth, which is a lovely yellow flower sensitive to the disturbance caused by urban development, is critically endangered and has not been recorded since 2004. As a result, we propose to bring it back to the Maribyrnong area with its associated species kangaroo grass and wiggly whitetail, which is a native bird species, as a measure to preserve small golden moth and increase biodiversity. To sum up this session, we identify the current issue as a disregard for non-human stakeholders in the urban planning process, and we propose an enclosed eco-cycle between wiggly whitetails, kangaroo grass, and small golden moth to increase the biodiversity on the site, which will then create a sense of uniqueness to the local community.
The stakeholder study is about whom will be benefit from our project. We have listed all the stakeholders in order from high stake to low stake and high resources to low resources.
Depending on our project, we are trying to build a loop with the community, involving the participants as much as possible in our projects. Early research based on the local information and the feedback collection in later stage are both increase the community engagement. There are some of the engagement techniques that may be involved in our project. We will collect the community feedback online and offline to cover more participants. Our official website and social media accounts are mainly used as a publicity platform for the project to keep in touch with the community for long-term communication and collect feedback as well. Online and offline surveys are mainly short-term voting to get instant feedback, while seminars are mainly for more academic replies. We will also carry out some offline sandbox workshops, a more creative method to get our feedback.
Based on the research and study about Maribyrnong, we split the site into 4 different zones. We also find some case studies which can be relevant to the project and allocate them to the site as an inspiration. The master plan of the place has different programs for different approaches, and connected by the water features are crossing the whole site. We balance the ratio between green space and open space for both human and non-human stakeholders. The first zone is a large open space located at the center of the park as the most engaged place of the site. There are 3 key features in this zone: the indigenous pavilion, the undulating landscape design, and the water features. The pavilion is showing the respect to the landowner and provide a high inclusive place for the community. The landscape is about adding the playfulness for the kids and young children. It is also emulating the Aboriginal dream. The water features is an abstraction of the circulation behavior and combining the water and the land. The collage is about the landscape next to the walk path, and the water features are crossing the site. The wavy landscape provides a natural playground for children to play around. The water features blend into the ground at the pathway to allow wheelchairs passing through. The collage is about the pavilion attracting people for gathering. The design of the pavilion is inspired by the traditional Aboriginal camp. The shading and seating will be provided underneath the roof. The large lawn area around the pavilion also will be a great place for walking dogs.
Regarding Zone 2, it is located near the highway and is largely concealed by the bushes and trees, thus failing to attract the visitors passing through. To mitigate such disadvantage, various strategies are adopted. For example, in order to attract more visitors, the fences along the street is redesigned to incorporate Aboriginal painting with the facade of the museums painted with murals. A viewing platform at the entrance is also built to demarcate the start of the journey and to provide an opportunity for visitors to rest and congregate. Following the modern trend of digital technology, interactive exhibition will also be curated to attract a wider audience. The collage here showcases the installation of the viewing and resting platform with the meandering walking trail passing by. The seating area not only allows people to take a moment and enjoy the surrounding landscape, but also create a chance of encounter and engagement, thus creating a closely connected relationship between different groups. The collage here shows the painting of murals on the facade of the museum to attract more visitors to come and take a look at the exhibition inside the museum, which is a creative digital placemaking show that allows people from both online and offline to interact smoothly with each other and learn more about the local Aboriginal community.
Zone 3 of the site is characterized by large green areas and wetlands, which provides great opportunities for connecting the community to nature through intimate interactions with the natural element. Our design proposal includes new seatings, increased plantings with bird nest installations to attract willy wagtails, and the water features that run through the entire site. Here is an example and a diagram of the bird nest installations that we propose to scatter across the wetlands. This collage shows our vision for an intimate interaction between visitors and water, trees, and birds. The visitors are guided by the installations to explore the site while immersing themselves in the lovely sound of willy wagtails, enhancing their bonds with the land that has nourished countless generations.
Now let's come to Zone 4. Zone 4 is the area with strategies along the riverside. The existing trail is very close to the river, and there's a simple footbridge on the river for pedestrians to walk through. To make the place more attractive and inclusive, we designed some river trail activations. Some introduction boards are installed along the river trails to introduce animal and plant species in our site. Another thing is we will install some on-river interactions. For example, we will place some circular floating platform located near the river which allows visitors to better feel the river and natural environment. For the inclusion, we made a universal design to renovate the footbridge for all people to access. This footbridge also establishes a closer connection between the community and Maribyrnong River. Here's the Riverside Collage. It shows the installation of fences to protect children by the river, the place of species introduction board, and seats added along the path. For the footbridge, a convenient device is added for people with disabilities or cyclists to get on the bridge easier. The Riverside strategies give opportunities for the community to connect with nature and make the site friendly for all, including disabled, aged, and children. Back to our three main issues. Zone 1 and Zone 3 strategies are produced to solve the habitat and biodiversity issue, except the indigenous pavilion, which is related to cultural representation and perspectives. Zone 2 and Zone 4 are focused on cultural representation and perspectives, and inclusion and equity. These strategies are come out to promote history and culture, attract more people, and make everyone have an opportunity to gain multisensory experience. To evaluate these strategies, several indicators should be considered. Through indicators such as increase in the number and the distribution of species, increase in the number and the types of visitors, enrichment of people's knowledge of species and indigenous, three types of benefits will be achieved through these strategies. Environmental benefits include achieving harmony between human and nature and sustainable development. Social benefits include promote Aboriginal history and culture and bring people a multisensory experience. Economical benefits include promote local population, surrounding business development, surrounding real estate development, and economic benefits from tourists. That's all for our presentation. Thank you for listening.